Hi, Aries, Sun, Moon, and Ascendant. This is Dane, and I'm going to be doing your February 2024 new moon reading for you. Now, I ask if this reading resonates with you. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. It helps me out immensely, and it gets this channel seen by the YouTube algorithm, which is still punishing me for having to take time off to take care of my sick family members. So, thank you so very much for doing so. You guys mean the absolute world to me. So let's see what the tarot has to say. Angels and spirit guides show me clearly. Ooh, I like this. This is a great start. Guide this reading and show me clearly, angels and spirit guides. One more, this one. Okay, this is a really, really lovely reading. So I'm so happy to be able to share this with you from spirit. Okay. So we have the King of Pentacles in the upright position. We have the Ace of Cups in the upright position. We have the Two of Wands reverse. We have the Five of Pentacles reverse, which is fabulous. We're getting rid of all poverty mentalities during this time. We have the Hangman in the upright position. We're seeing things differently. We're also finding ourselves in a different space, spiritually, emotionally, personally. And then the Hangman, not the Hangman, the Tower is reversed. We're coming out of a Tower time. We're finding our strength. We're finding an authority within ourselves, a determination, a focus, an insight. And that is a really big deal. So let's see what Spirit has to say. Now, if you're interested in entering to receive a free reading, put a heart in the comment box below. A person will be chosen at random and announced on the 1st of March. So good luck to everyone. The announcement will be done through a video. So do keep your eyes open for that and don't be scammed by anybody in the comment box trying to pretend they're me and get you to go to them. So don't do that. All right. And also, if you're interested in a private reading, a private personalized meditation, or healing, check out my website, daneharttarot.com. By popular request, there are mini readings. So check that out. They are offered for a limited time. So, snatch one up while you can. So let's see what Spirit has to say. Angels and spirit guides show me clearly. This is Blossom reversed. So it's really interesting that we have such good energy around us, and yet we don't necessarily feel like we're blossoming into ourselves. We can feel like there's something holding us back. And I really do believe that that's, oh, yes, he just flipped over, right? It's us coming out of the Tower time. It's us coming out of a really intense, really powerful time where so much of what we had thought has been shaken up. So that's going to be a very important transition that we're going through. And we're going to think, no, I can't blossom into myself. And Spirit's like, yes, you can. Angels and spirit guides show me clearly. So our chakra energy is both the sacral chakra, and we have flexibility reverse, and we have relationship. Now check out doing things a bit differently. So all the astrology is going to be in a separate video linked in the description box below. So check that out if you want to hear all about the astrology for this new moon. It is fantastic, filled with so much information. So I highly recommend it. They go beautifully together. But if you're just here for the tarot, this is simply the tarot. But the sacral energy came up in that reading as well, in the astrology reading. So we have flexibility and we have relationships reversed. So we can be finding that we have a bit of difficulty channeling our creative self, channeling our sensual self. And it's not even in relationships where Spirit is talking about our sensual self. It's in our existence. It's moving through this world with a level of calmness and grace and just ease of being that we can be finding difficult. And it makes sense with all the astrology that's going on. So I highly recommend you check out the astrology video. But here with relationships reverse, we have to pay attention to our relationship with ourselves, our relationship with those that we love, those around us, and then the flexibility with, what do we want? How are we moving forward? Our creativity, our insight, our desires. We have to be more flexible with ourselves. We're going to be very rigid. It has to be this way. It has to be that way. And we're going to see here that certain doors are closing to us. And that can be devastating if we're not willing to be flexible. If we're like, no, it has to be just like this. So paying attention to this energy is going to be super, super important. Let's see what energy we need to be mindful of during this time. Angels and spirit guides show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly, angels and spirit guides. This is the King of Cups. We need to be mindful of emotional manipulation. why we're being handed the gift of the Ace of Cups. So we're emotionally very sensitive during this time. We're working through a lot of things that have held us back before. So with the King of Cups reversed, this is going to be a person. It can be a water sign energy, a Pisces, a Scorpio, a Cancer. It can be that energy in our chart that is going to just be our own personality being super harsh on ourselves. But we're going to see that we're rigid. We want to be just like this or just like that, or it needs to be, fitting in this box. And it doesn't. So being aware of that is going to be super important. We're also going to be responding to being yelled at or harsh words very intensely. And that's not something, Aries, that we like to admit to, because we are, the warrior, right? And we're going to be thinking, oh, I should be able to handle this, not, oh, I have to, feel my emotions and let myself feel and express and release. And yet feeling, expressing, and releasing is going to be one of the most important things that we can do. So that's very powerful information that's coming forward. With the Knight of Pentacles, this is Earth sign energy, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. And we're going to be seeing that crowning this whole reading and crowning this whole time, we're slowly and steadily moving forward towards our prosperity and our success. We're also very active, in creating more wealth for ourselves or what we value as much as money. If we have Earth sign energy in our chart, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, that part of our personality is going to come out very warrior-esque in our lives. If we have Earth sign energy in our lives, those people are going to come out, again, very warrior-esque. Now, we can be having bits of battles with these people, but we're always going to see us moving forward towards our greater good, towards our greater abundance, towards what we truly need, want, and desire. And it leads us to this place of healing with the Ace of Cups, with God, Source, Spirit, however you see the divine, the universe, handing us this gift of love, of healing, of connection. Now, does it bring a bit of tears? Yes, it does. Does it bring an overwhelming sense of emotion or just feeling? Yes, it also does. And with everything that's going on in this world, we can be thinking, oh no, that's not what I want. And we can be responding to it very combatively because I don't want to be afraid or I don't want to, feel these emotions. So I'm just going to get angry. And we can see that with a lot of the world during this time. So being mindful about this is going to be super important. But showing ourselves grace by letting ourselves feel and letting ourselves see our fears is going to be a very important thing. Moving into our heart, moving into our emotion, moving into our soul. That's going to be something that is a challenge for us. Yes, absolutely. But again, graces us and blesses us in a way that we could not imagine. With the Two of Wands reversed, the Two of Wands reverse is very much a sense of doors closing. Certain things that we thought were going to be open or certain ways we thought we were going to be moving forward in our lives. It's just not going to be that way. Are we upset about it? Yeah, actually we are. Can we let disappointment eat up this whole entire time for us and color our life from new moon to new moon? Absolutely, we can. Should we? No, we really shouldn't, because it's going to be stealing away our joy, our prosperity, and our success, and all the good things that Spirit is showing us are coming our way. So just being mindful about this, being mindful that we can get really stubborn. We can, here with the flexibility, we cannot be flexible. We can sit there and say, it has to be just like this. And Spirit's like, that's great, but I'm going to throw you curveballs. How are you going to handle them? How are you going to embrace them? How are you going to move forward in your energy, in your grace, and in yourself? With the Five of Pentacles reverse, the Five of Pentacles is poverty mentality. It's being out in the cold. It's feeling like I just can't. Now, you always have that energy with you. So the little boy in the background. Now, this can be a person that you have to take care of. This could be, an animal, a spirit, this is going to be some sort of nurturing energy that you have that kind of pulls you through a harsh time. It's kind of like, no, we have each other, we lean on each other. And if you're saying, Dean, I don't have that, it's your connection with your angels. It's your connection with your spirit guides that you lean on, even subconsciously, even if you don't realize you do, that helps you move to the next level, helps you move forward. But we're stepping out of the poverty mentality. We're not stuck in the cold anymore. And we're not seeing ourselves as being held back or being denied. What we're going to start to say is, why did I say I couldn't? Or why was I afraid of this? I'm opening up the door. I'm seeing myself move forward to the place that I need to be, body, mind, and spirit. And I'm starting to embrace my blessings. I'm starting to see myself as being able to be blessed. Now, we're also going to look at things generationally. People talk a lot about generational curses, and we can look at that and we can say, listen, my family had this poverty in their lives, or had, this sense of money is the root of all evil, or, don't self-praise stinks. Like don't sing your own praises type of thing. But if you don't sing your praises, if you don't believe in you, who the heck will? And why would they? So there's an energy here of like, no, I get to believe in me. I get to stand in the grace of me, and I get to be empowered and embrace and love myself. And so we're going to see ourselves starting to break out of doubt and fear, starting to break out of small, and starting to step into a place that is, even if we live a quiet life, and there's nothing wrong with living a quiet life, but even if we live a quiet life, we live it with joy, when we live it with abundance. And it brings us then to the hangman. We're starting to see things differently than we have seen them before. We're starting to see ourselves differently than we have seen ourselves before. We really start to look at things and be like, I'm in a new place. Like, this is a new way of being for me. Like, I didn't expect to be moving forward this way. I didn't expect, to be seeing this or connecting with this or to be drawn to this. And yet we are. And that's going to be a very powerful thing. And that's going to be a very honest thing, because Spirit is showing us we might have thought we knew how we were supposed to move forward in life, but we can seldom anticipate, the beautiful twists and turns that life gives us, or even the not so beautiful twists and turns, because we do have the Tower reversed here, right? The hardships, the pains, the disappointments, the angers, the upsets, the being drowning in emotions, the sense of combativeness, the sense also of everything that we love or everything that we thought was going to be just toppling and turning topsy-turvy on its head. So being aware of this during this time is going to be really important to us. We're rebuilding. We're rebuilding after a time where it's kind of like all you could do was hold your head in your hands and say, oh my goodness, oh my goodness. Now, I also like to clarify, we think the Tower time has to be super intense and super aggressive and, a really awful time. It doesn't have to be. But it can be a time where personally you're like, oh my gosh, what now? Or, oh my gosh, this is so much more intense than I ever thought it would be. A Tower time can be getting married. A Tower time can be having a child. A Tower time can be moving house. All things that people will congratulate you on and be like, oh my gosh, this is so great. And you could be sitting there and being like, how do I handle this? It could be starting your own business or moving jobs or whatever it is, where you're just kind of, everything has been shaken. And what you thought, how you thought things were going to move forward, it just isn't. So being aware of this during this time is super important, that we're coming out of a time frame where we didn't know how we were going to move forward, or what we thought was going to happen wasn't, and we didn't have our footing, and that affected us. We're going to be so quick to be like, that door closed, I can't go through it, I can't move forward, I'm just not going to be able to get to where it is that I would need to be. We're going to be so quick to put the Tower time back on us and say, I have this unbearable burden to carry. And Spirit's like, listen, you don't. You're coming out of a time where you questioned, where you doubted, where you feared, and you're starting to see yourself again. And let yourself feel, because we've kind of shut down our emotions, which makes sense because we were going through so much. I can't feel. I have to just put one foot in front of the other and get through it. And now we're starting to move forward in prosperity and success. We're starting to say, okay, what do I want? What do I value? I can have this too. That's going to be a big part of this time as well with this moon. It's like, I can have this. I can move forward in bounty. I can move forward in blessings. I have this prosperity guiding me. So let's see what the moon has to say for herself. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly, angels and spirit guides. Ooh, okay. So patience reversed. Resistance, angels. Change, angels and spirit guides. Like this one, self-love. The masculine and fruition. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Angels and spirit guides. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Angels and spirit guides. Angels and spirit guides. Okay, be very mindful. If you have Libra in your chart, that's you're going to feel that part of your energy is just completely off balance. So being aware of that is going to be super important. Also with Capricorn energy during this time. Now this new moon is in Aquarius. So I don't believe I said that before, and I do apologize. But here we have the full moon in Aquarius. So we do have lovely Aquarius energy coming forward. So during this time, as we're moving forward, we're not going to be very patient. We have patience reverse, and it says it's a time to give rather than take. So it's a time to give of our energy into this world. It's like, okay, I'm moving forward with this energy. I'm moving forward with this insight. What's interesting is that we're not going to be patient, and yet the Knight of Pentacles is the slowest moving knight. So it kind of demands patience from us, even if we don't want to give it. So being aware of this during this time is super, super important. It's a time to give rather than take. And we can think this as, it's a time to give gifts, or it's a time where I have to keep on giving of service. No, what it is a time of is giving of peaceful, harmonizing energy, of stepping back and saying, I'm putting this into the universe. And we're going to see that this is a huge moon for manifestation. And we can see that again in the astrology. So this is a time where Spirit's going to say to you, how do you want to open this door? How do you want to move forward? Be mindful of your energy and be mindful of your subconscious energy. How you're feeling, what you're thinking about, where's the chaos, or where's the peace when you're not thinking, when you're just quietly connecting with yourself. It moves us then to the love coming forward, and we have resilience. We've been carrying so much. Now it's the time to release and say, okay, how am I resilient? How am I guiding myself forward? And it says your hard work is paying off. We don't feel that way. Just as we don't feel like we're truly blossoming into ourselves, we don't feel as if we're being seen. And that's going to be a very important thing, because we have to look at our emotions. Why don't we feel like we're being seen? Where's the chaos? Like, what's holding us back? What's making us doubt ourselves? It moves us to a win-win outcome is forecast, which is reversed around change, which is also reversed. And this is with the Two of Wands reversed. So this whole energy here is reversed, where doors are closing. There is change that we're not going to be accepting. We're going to be thinking, no, it has to be like this, or it has to be like that. And then we have a win-win outcome. It's like, no, it's not a win-win outcome. It's all or nothing, all or nothing. And Spirit's like, no, we have to kind of reset ourselves. We do. We have to reset our brain and say, how do I need to move forward? Where is it that I need to be? What is it that I desire? This is a time for healing. Absolutely. This is a time for healing and a time for self-love. As we release our poverty mentality, as we release the sense of, I can't possibly. And Spirit's like, oh, yes, you can. So understand that the healing is real, that we need to embrace our self-love, our connection with our heart, with our spirit. Again, in the world, this is such a combative time. We are so ready to have a fight, to have an argument, to, throw things down and be like, this is the way it needs to be, instead of moving forward in compassion and love, instead of saying, okay, let me connect with my heart. Let me embrace peaceful love. And yes, it's so easy to say, and yes, it is so hard to do, but we're going to need that energy to move us forward during this time, to connect in meditation, to connect in grace of being for this world and for ourselves as a race of people. And it moves us here to a new romantic cycle begins. And then we have that reversed with the masculine coming forward. So as we're looking at things very differently, we're stepping into a masculine era in our countenance and being for this moon. So what's very interesting is that the sacred masculine, we need the sacred masculine and the sacred feminine to be. So it's very interesting is that the sacred masculine is upright, yet we don't feel like we can love it, right? A new romantic cycle comes in, but the sacred masculine makes us feel like we can't step into that loving energy, or we can feel like I can't love the sacred masculine part of me. Now we can do a simple meditation, taking a nice deep breath in, exhaling whenever it feels comfortable for you, and just chant sacred masculine, sacred masculine, sacred masculine. How does that feel? What does that feel like for you? What is that call forward in your being? Does it feel good? Does it feel like, oh, I'm coming home and I'm safe? Does it feel like, oh, I'm going to be betrayed? This is hurtful energy. And we can do the same thing with sacred feminine, sacred feminine, sacred feminine, sacred feminine, chanting that and have that energy go around us. Do we feel like we've come home? Do we feel safe and secure? Or do we feel like I'm going to be betrayed, or I can't trust this? Be mindful of this energy, because it's the baggage that we're carrying, whether it's from this life, past lives, whether it's from, our lived experience or the observation of somebody else's lived experience. We're going to be looking at things, and we're going to start to see things differently. And we're going to start to step into our grace and power of being and soul and self. And it moves us to show the world the real you. And that's going to be really important, because as we're coming out of this tower time, or as we're coming out of a time where we weren't sure how to stand, we weren't sure how to move forward, we're going to be bringing to fruition what it is that we deeply love and deeply desire. And we're going to see that we need to show the world the real us. It's time to bring to fruition what we deeply love, who we deeply are, what is important to us, and again, what is sacred to us. And that's going to be a very powerful thing. And that's going to be a very honest thing for us during this moon and during this time. Our subconscious spirit message is imagine. To let our imagination run free, to let ourselves connect, to let ourselves question, to let ourselves search, to let ourselves, be imaginative, almost like children. Like you can create anything, you could be anything. To let ourselves step into that energy is terrifying and beautiful. So understanding during this time that we need to let our creative energy come forward. And what do we think about when our mind is just simply imagining? Do we imagine the worst or do we imagine the best? Do blessings come forward or does fear? It moves us then to our energy to be mindful of. And this is divine power. No, this is divine wisdom. This is the soul star chakra located 6 inches above our crown. To know that wisdom is guiding us, to know that we are being healed, that we are being led forward in ways that we hadn't imagined. You're going to be like, I don't know how I know this, but I know this, and you can totally check it online, Google, but you're going to see that you know certain things, that you're connecting with certain energy. And you're like, oh, I don't know why I feel guided to this or why I know this or, why this is coming up. And even the divine wisdom in the mistakes that we make during this time is going to be very important. It's like it teaches us really powerful lessons. It brings us then to our energy to be mindful of. And that is the 10 of Wands. Be mindful of overburdening yourself, of saying, oh, I can do this. Oh, I can do that. I can take this on. I can take that on. Don't take on everything, because all you'll be left seeing is the dirt on your shoes, the mud on the path ahead of you, not the beautiful sky, not the trees, not the birds, not anything like that. All you'll be left with is mud. And that's not what we want. That's not inspiring. And we weigh ourselves down. And you can even be like me, where you get super stressed out. You can be like, oh, instead of letting go of things, it's like, you know what, I'm going to do this. This will make me happy. And then I'll do this. And this will make me happy. And you just put more on your plate, which makes you more stressed. So here, it's like release and let yourself be blessed. You're coming to a completion of a cycle, and this is creatively, this is work-wise. And that completion of the cycle can be, I'm completely burnt out and overwhelmed. Or that completion of the cycle can be, I'm releasing and I'm going to start enjoying life. And we might be saying, Dane, I'm not there, or I can't possibly do that because, everybody demands my time and I need to pay my bills and I need to put food on the table. And I get it. I really get it. But we need to start to smile. We need to start to see a blessing, a silver lining in our existence. Because if we don't, it's just going to steal our whole entire lives from us. It moves us then to our subconscious tarot message. That's the Queen of Swords. This is air sign energy, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. But this is also, I'm not taking any bull. This is the warrior queen of the tarot. This is also the most masculine of the queens. She really doesn't care what other people think. Well, she does, but it's like, I still have to move forward. I still have to cut through the doubts and the fears and the negativity and the hurts and the pains and the disappointment and get to where it is that I need to be. We all know negative air sign energies. They don't even have to be air sign energies. We all know those negative people who, live in self-doubt, who are hypercritical, hyper-judgmental. And that is the Queen of Swords reversed. Here in the upright position, it's a knowing your voice. It's the sitting there and saying, I have been forged. I have gone through heartbreaks and pains and disappointments, hurts and fears. I have lived through so much. I know my voice. Even if our voice will change in 2 years' time, a year's time, we'll find that, oh, I think this more than this now, or, oh, I want this more than this now. We know our voice now, and it's embracing it. It's knowing our mind. It's sitting there and saying, I'm worth listening to. It's also a fierceness, a determination, a focus, an insight. And we're going to see ourselves moving forward towards that. We have a way with words during this time, especially subconsciously. Like we can have really, wicked, like little wicked jokes, like little, just in, like our satire is going to be really good, or kind of like a darker sense of humor is going to be really, really good during this time. Finding something to smile about, finding, levity in almost every situation, but also knowing our minds, knowing what we want, being super focused, being super determined, super insightful. That's going to be our power, and that's going to be a powerhouse for us. Our subconscious Luna message is self-reflection reversed, and your commitment is being tested reversed. So our commitment isn't being tested, but we're not being self-reflective. we have to look at ourselves and say, what do I want? What do I need? We're going to be kind of bulldozery during this time. I have to forge forward. I have to move forward. And that's great. We do. But we also have to reflect and say, where do I want to stand? And not be so reactionary, not be so led by the emotions of this moon. So just being aware of that during this time is going to be super, super, super important. This isn't a moon to just be led by. This is a moon to connect with, feel with, and manifest with. That's what this moon is all about. Okay. This new moon in Aquarius. All right. All right, Aries. I hope this reading has resonated with you. I wish you nothing but light, love, peace, and happiness. May harmony always be with you. I am sending loving, healing energy to each and every one of you. I love you all and stay safe. Let's end this reading with a meditation, a clearing away of negative energy, a raising of our positive energy as we embrace the power, intensity, and beauty of this new moon and of ourselves. And note that this meditation and healing will be accompanied by a loud sound. So take a nice deep breath in, exhaling whenever it feels comfortable for you. May you move forward in peace and in harmony, Aries. May blessings and prosperity always be with you. I love you all. God bless. Bye.